I used to be a summoner like you. Then I took an arrow to the knee.
Hi there, I'm Aki from Aki Gaming, and welcome to another episode on Fire Emblem Heroes. In this video, we are counting down to the top 3 Colourless Heroes with skill inheritance in mind. For this list, we are looking at their overall performances in the arena, uniqueness of one's ability, total stats, and additional skills that could be inherited. Do note that the ranking is solely based on my opinion and findings over the World Wide Web, so it might be different from another person's. Number 3. Jeorge, Perfect Shot. Born to the Menaidi family, Jeorge is considered to be the best sniper on the continent and is widely renowned for his peerless marksmanship. His unrivaled skill in archery commands great respect from others and is what initially draws Godin to him. Jeorge's total stats rating is 161, with his attack being the highest at 46 and his speed being second at 32. Out of respect for his prestige and accomplishment, he is conferred the honor of wielding the Pasha, one of the regalia of Achania. It grants him a +4 on resistance if initiating combat, which is useful when attacking mages. Jeorge's passive skill B, Seal Attack, inflicts a -7 attack penalty on foes through their next action after combat, a useful skill to harass foes with high attack stats and reduces damage received. His passive skill in slot C is Spur Speed, which grants adjacent ally a +4 speed during combat. With additional speed, allies have a higher chance to make a follow-up attack and prevents foe from doing the same. Jeorge is the only colourless unit with an AoE attack. His special Blazing Flames deal 1.5 times of his attack to foes in an area near the target before initiating combat. This skill ignores the weapon triangle and foes can only counter-attack during regular combat, which means enemy would have to take 2 hits before reacting. If Jeorge's speed is 5 points higher than his opponent, he could deal 3 hits in one attacking turn with Blazing Flame. As an archer, Jeorge doesn't have good defensive stats. He might not get hit twice with his decent speed, but if enemy has Brave Weapon, he would definitely retire from the field. Surprising as it may seem, Jeorge has the highest base attack among all archers. Let's have a look at how we could further strengthen him with some skill recommendation. One way of doing so is to let him inherit the weapon Brave Bow Plus. This weapon gives him the ability to attack twice during initiation with a speed penalty of -5. Moreover, Brave Bow is unaffected by skill which prevents follow-up attack. For example, Worry Fighter and Bow Breaker. As you know, Brave Bow gives very low attack stats, so in order to compensate that flaw, it is recommended to give him Death Blow at slot A. It grants the holder a +6 on attack during initiation, and with Brave Bow, it will be 6 × 2 instead. You could also swap his slot C passive skill to either Horn Speed or Threaten Speed, depending on your playing style. The first grants adjacent ally a +4 on speed during the start of the turn, and the latter inflicts a -5 speed on foes within 2 spaces. In terms of inheriting special, Jeorge already has a very unique special in my opinion, but if you want something with a faster cooldown, feel free to give him Moonbow. It resolves combat as if foes suffer defense and resistance -30 with a low cooldown cost of 2. The recommended IV for Jeorge would be a plus attack minus defense, as Brave Bow allows him to attack twice, so the higher his attack means the more damage he could deal. Alternately, a plus speed is good too, but it will work better on another build, which is super pricey in terms of SP cost, feathers and orbs. If you are really interested in that build, you can find it in the description below. Number 2. Kagero, Honorable Ninja. A kunoichi from a noble family who has served the Hoshidan royalty for generations. Kagero is the retainer of the Crown Prince Ryoma, which she fiercely loyal to. She will not hesitate to sacrifice herself in order to preserve his life. Kagero's total stats rating is 153, with her attack being the highest at 40, and her speed being second at 32. Even though her total stats are considered to be low, but what makes her a real monster is the weapon she wields. Kagero's strongest weapon is Poison Dagger Plus. It grants additional 50% damage towards infantry units. Not only that, they will suffer a -6 penalty on defense and resistance after combat through their next action. With majority of the heroes being an infantry, Poison Dagger might be the deadliest weapon in the arena. In case she couldn't finish the job, the added penalty provides allies an easy task to kill them off. Kagero's passive skill A, Warding Blow, grants her a +6 on resistance during initiation. It's a good skill when fighting against mages as it boosts her magic resistance so she wouldn't die during counterattack. Kagero is the only hero with the passive skill Dagger Breaker, which is a type B skill. It enables her to make a follow-up attack against dagger user and foe cannot if her HP is 50% or higher. Not only is she strong against infantry, with this skill, she makes other dagger users running for their life. Her special attack, Reprisal, adds bonus damage dealt equal to 30% of the damage she suffered with a cooldown of 2. A very good skill against ranged unit when initiating if her speed is high enough for follow-up. Kagero's weakness is her low HP. When I said low, I mean an average of 31 low, which makes her survival rate questionable. Additionally, her defense is not high either, making her vulnerable to melees and arrows, so try to attack only when the coast is clear, or attack behind a wall. Without a doubt, Kagero is the strongest dagger hero in the game. Here's a few skill recommendations to make her even better. A good passive skill at slot A for her would be Death Blow that grants her a +6 on attack during initiation. Not only that, this skill stacks with her Poison Dagger too, resulting in a +9 in damage instead of just 6. Alternately, you could let her learn Swift Sparrow at slot A instead. It grants her a +4 on attack and speed if she initiates the attack. By boosting her speed, it increases her chance to make a follow-up attack and prevent foes from doing the same. You could also make her into a Super Glass Cannon by giving her Life and Death instead. It grants Kagero a +5 on attack and speed but -5 on her defense and resistance in return, which is a huge gamble in my opinion because of her low HP. Coming to her slot C, a good passive skill would be Threaten Speed or Defense. The first inflicts a -5 speed to foes within 2 spaces, which increases her chance to make a follow-up attack, and the latter inflicts a -5 on defense, which increases her damage output. As for her special, you could replace Reprisal with Moonbow for a more consistent damage output. The recommended IV for Kagero would be a +speed minus defense or resistance. As she is the only hero with a weapon effective against infantry, the more speed ensures her to leave no trace of her target. And with proper positioning, a minus to her defensive attributes wouldn't affect her performance during battle. Before I reveal the number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Setsuna, Client, Jaffa. Number 1. Takumi, Wildcard. The third child in the Hoshidan royal family, Takumi is the younger brother of Ryoma and Hinoka. In order to gain recognition for his strength, he has been tirelessly perfecting his practice of marksmanship. Takumi's total stats rating is 162, with his attack being the highest at 46. His second highest stats would be his speed at 33. He is a bow user, which gives him a wider attack range of 2. But what makes Takumi different from the other archer is his ability to counter at melee range. His passive skill A, Close Counter, enables him to counterattack regardless of distance of attacker. Normally, ranged units could not counter if being hit in close range, but with this skill, melee units will have to think twice before rushing in for a hit. Additionally, Takumi's passive skill C, Threaten Speed, inflicts a -5 speed penalty on foes within 2 spaces at the start of each turn, which significantly lowers foes' speed and giving him a higher chance to counter back twice. Takumi's special attack, Vengeance, grants him bonus damage equal to 50% of the damage suffered with a cooldown of 3. It works best for units with all-range counter as they are more likely to receive damage, and has a better chance to unleash the full power of Vengeance. Comparing all his stats, Takumi has rather low magic resistance. In other words, he tends to receive heavy damage from mages and dragons. Even though his speed is high enough to avoid a follow-up attack, but as a precaution, be extra careful when facing mages like Taja, Nino, and Lin. Takumi might be good enough as how he is, but there's still room for improvement. Here are a few recommended skills for him to inherit. Naturally, he doesn't have a passive skill in slot B, so it is highly recommended to give him a skill named Vantage. It allows him to counterattack first when being attacked at 75% HP or less. It works best with his close counter, as he can counter attack first disregarding distance, killing off foes when they try to attack him, and increasing his chance of survival. Alternately, Quick Riposte also works very well for Takumi. This skill lets him automatically perform a follow-up attack disregarding speed when being attacked at 75% HP or higher. In the case that you are fighting against a foe with speed similar to yours, which prevents him to make a follow-up attack, this skill would come in handy to deal the finishing blow. A good assist skill for Takumi would be Reciprocal Aid. It allows him to swap HP with adjacent ally, but neither unit can go above their max HP. This skill is a lifesaver, as he can either increases his durability in the arena or saving an ally being beaten to pulps. It also works very well with Vengeance, as you can swap life with a teammate with the lowest HP to increase the damage of his special attacks. Although Vengeance is a good skill to carry around, but if you are going for zero damage playstyle, you can try swapping it with Moonbow. With the low cooldown cost of 2 and his attack speed, Takumi could easily cast it every other turn. The recommended IV for Takumi would be a plus speed minus resistance. With that additional speed, it increases his chance to make a follow-up attack and prevent foes from doing the same. As for the Bane, with its already low resistance, it wouldn't make much difference if it's further reduced. In conclusion, Takumi might not be the strongest or fastest colourless hero in the game, but with his versatility, distribution of stats, and his ability to counter from all distance makes him the #1 pick among the colourless heroes. Do you agree on this list? Leave a comment below. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to Aki Gaming for more interesting content. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.